Chasing happiness, just like needing motivation to accomplish anything, is a fool's task, okay? Chasing and being a slave to your emotions is just as ludicrous as needing that little kick in the ass in order to do something. You will do something through discipline and finding your purpose. Case in point, I'm recording this video right now after a very long marathon recording session. I don't necessarily want to do it. I know that I have to do it. My purpose is to use the platform of YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, all of the different platforms that are out there to get my version of the events out there, to tell the truth when nobody else is going to do it on a whole host of topics, interject a little bit of humor, a little bit of fun, some truth and honesty into a institution and a service that has long since abdicated that responsibility. What would make me happy right now? Collapsing into just a little bit of a ball, going to sleep, or maybe running around outside, okay? But no, I do this because I want to do this, because it's my purpose, it's my goal, it's my drive, it's my desire to accomplish a thriving little media empire for myself. Accomplishing that and growing and evolving my goals as I get closer to that will make me happy. And same thing, I wake up every morning. I don't necessarily feel motivated to get out of bed, but you know what I do? Fold up the blankets, get the pillows away, splash some cold water in my face, drink my pre-workout, and go for a run. Does it make me happy when it's 20, 30, 40 degrees above or 50 below? No, of course not, but I do it because I have to, because I have the discipline, the drive, and the desire to accomplish. So yes, needing external stimuli in order to accomplish your goals, that's ludicrous. You're in control of your own emotions at every single second. So with that in mind, let's take a look at this. I occasionally reflect on certain periods of my life nostalgically as the good old days. I can't relate because as of right now, and I know that I'm kind of taking a monotone approach to this, okay? Every single moment I look forward to the future, I know that I'm living in the good old days right now, because no time in history has ever been better, because I know I'm on my purpose. Of course, I didn't recognize them as the good old days when they were happening. It seemed like ordinary days. I found much to enjoy in each of these seasons. I have no major regrets, but I notice a certain restlessness in myself over the years. In the moment, I saw each chapter, as good as it was, as a stepping stone to see some future success and greater happiness that was just around the corner. My mind, my energy were constantly searching and longing for something more, instead of enjoying the good things that were already mine. If only I'd known that someday be more wistful for those periods, maybe I'd have drink it in, man, a little deeper. But there's good news to this. You are likely living through the good old days right now, this period in your life, especially if you choose to see what you can be enjoyed in the present day the same way you wish you had enjoyed those days in the past. Always striving, never arrived. Yeah, don't exactly conflate this with some of those success porn hustlers that are out there. Just go out there and get it. Don't sleep, just chase excellence. Now, man, there's going to be bumps along the road. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat any of this stuff. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. But you persevering, you going through, okay, setting your ego aside, doing things that don't necessarily make you happy in the moment, but know that'll get you further and closer towards your goal. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to prioritize over your fleeting and flaky emotions. Let me start with the definition of happiness, since it is a word that is used pretty flexibly in our culture. In this article, I'm talking about a deeper kind of happiness than more positive emotions, something richer, more profound. Then just use that word instead, and something less fleeting. Some people call it joy or contentment. Those are two completely different things. I never want to be content. The lowest form that a man can reach is simple contentment, because that means he's not accomplishing anything, okay? I don't want to be content. I will never be content. I will always be searching and thirsting for more. But whatever you call it, well, we all know that it's important. In fact, practically everyone, if you ask them, would say that it is no greater motivation in their lives than to become happier. And those people are what we like to call stupid, because you're just replacing one emotion for another. And at a moment's notice, you could have an external stimuli come in and replace that emotion, okay? Somebody in your family could die. You could fall and trip through your front door and break your leg, okay? Will that mean that you're happy? No. You have to be flexible, you have to be variable, but you have to continue to stay on your path. Why then are we always chasing happiness and rarely savoring it? Because happiness is like water in your hand. It will constantly fucking escape. Sorry. I just hate these success porn articles where it's like, just continue to chase happiness. That's all you need in life. You will be your own source of happiness. It's so dumb. If it is, as we're all banking on enjoying blissful happiness in our retirement years, yeah, most people, unfortunate, here's a red pill that's out there. Most people won't have a content and happy retirement. They either won't save up enough or they'll end up dying on the job. Sorry about that. And simply paying our dues now. But research shows that our ability to savor the moment is not linked to positive emotions, but also to greater psychological well-being. So then, when we reason, we kick the can of happiness down the road and fail to enjoy the good old days while we're in them. There are at least 3 reasons that he's observed in himself. We settle for cheap dopamine hits. Fair enough. Distractions along the way. And that's one of the easiest ways to get on your purpose. You might not even know what you're trying to achieve. You might not know ultimately what's at the end of the road, but stopping off at every little turnout, every little corner store along the way, those are distractions. And those come in the forms of drugs and drink and terrible people, low information conversations, video games, television shows, videos that don't offer you any mental nutrition. No, you just want to sit back and feel good in the moment. You just want a little bit of happiness because, I've had such a tough day and I just need to sit down and I just need to relax. And that sitting down for a couple of minutes turns into hours. And then whatever you wanted to accomplish that evening after work ends up getting pushed off to the weekend. And then to the next weekend. And then to next month. And then to next year. See how that cycle continues? We don't think we deserve it yet. It may sound crazy as I type that, but sometimes I don't let myself enjoy what I have because I'm afraid it will make me passive. I feel, that I'll always have earned the right to savor life when I've achieved a level of success in my own eyes. Yeah, or sometimes I feel behind, as I've wasted time already, and now I'm in the rush to catch up. I tell myself that someday I'll cultivate the ability to enjoy the moment, but I worry that I'm creating chains of habit that will be hard to break. Yeah, well, that's why you should always be pruning off all of your just low-level activities that either somebody else can do, you can delegate those responsibilities out, or you can just stop doing them if they aren't of any benefit to you or your goal. Because you might not feel happy in the moment doing something. Just like I'm not necessarily happy outside running during a blizzard, but I'll do it anyways because I know that's going to help me more down the road than taking the day off. Nonsense. Searching for something else. Interesting. What is this? I remember a particular moment in college when I was feeling uncertain about the future. Oh boy, and then your dorm mate come over and put his hand on your shoulder and you guys embraced anyways, and thought that I could never find a job I enjoyed and get married to the girl I love. Then I could be perfectly content. Yes, which is again another reason why you shouldn't be a slave to your emotions. I really thought the 2 things that would really solve my restlessness once and for all. Well, I did marry that girl, find a great job, and start a family, but too often I find myself wondering what's next instead of treasuring those wonderful gifts. Well, if you were doing it right to that girl that you married, she would be treasuring your very wonderful gifts, if you know what I mean. Discover your treasure. There's a short parable in the Bible about a man who's walking through someone else's field and stumbles upon an incredibly valuable treasure. That's called thievery, my guy. He proceeds to dig a hole and bury the treasure so no one else would find it. Then he goes home and starts selling everything he owns, cashing it in for its entire net worth so he can raise enough money to buy a field containing the buried treasure. Yeah, man, that's dumb. I understand what you're going for in that one. Delaying gratification, but you also have to live in a mindset and in a mind frame of abundance, which again I can already tell by a couple of lines that are in here that this guy is, he's just golly gee wonderful, fantastic. It was just thanks and happy to be along for the ride. No, you have to understand, I'm speaking from the male perspective on this one because frankly that's the only one I care about. That if you think happiness will be achieved if you find the right girl, gee, your soulmate's out there. Nonsense. If you get a great job, yes, if you go in there every day, you clock in 9 to 5, you get good benefits and you're making somebody else rich. Good for you. Start a family, that's the only one where you probably got some ground on that one. Start a family, raise a family, have a son to carry on your legacy, the legacy that you're building every single waking moment. But you shouldn't be doing that unless you're already accomplishing something, unless you've already made yourself a man of worth and stature. And then guess what? You gotta also understand that beauty is incredibly common. High value men are not. Finding a great job, great. Being employed by somebody else, being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody. But guess what? That business is going to change and shift. There are no days anymore coming in the future, okay, where people just go and work a job for 50 years, get the gold watch, and then just ease off into retirement, okay? Those days, long gone, long in the past. There are so many side hustles that are out there that you can do in order to ensure that you have your own financial independence. Thinking that you're just going to marry your high school sweetheart and you guys are just going to have the white picket fence, you're going to have 2.1 children and a dog, 2 vehicles in every garage and a turkey in every oven, whatever the heck the old hack saying used to be. You have to be the author of your own life. You have to be the CEO of your life. And what that means is you have to take the ups and downs, okay? But then at the same time, in the other hand, you've also got to be driving forward. You got to be on that purpose. You got to be making the harsh decisions for the people that rely on you. If you don't want that, that's fine. There's a lot of different ways to check out. But I know most people that are out there want to live a life of purpose, want to live a life of responsibility, and live a life of authority. Your choice to make ultimately, though. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.